So now when we create a new category or we create a new idea, we should be creating all of the necessary relationships that we need. And so now let's go back to add new idea. We know when we do this, we're opening up this page into it. So we're at page idea detail. Let's start thinking about what we want to edit here. I'm going to have a few different opinions, I think, on how to design this preferentially, but you can always, we've got like our standard template here that's done for you, and you can change anything that you want. Close this is always going to function. So we need to make sure close this is tied to the hide light box on the app page. So that should be done on that. Status is board name. This isn't really a status as much for the idea as just clarifying the board name. So to set that on page binding, I can instead use set value board name. And I can do that from the data collection of boards. I can get the board name. I can do that by filtering the current, or filtering the ID of the boards collection by the current record field value, which when I open this page, there's a current record of the ID and the related board to match. So it should just pop up for me right away. And by, again, using comma separated, it'll just get the singular board name value. So that's going to function for me out of the gates. Next, I've got my idea and description, titles there. And the way that this is set up there, as the page loads and then through the edit button, you can click edit to then be able to edit the options on the page. Now this is awesome to do, and we can keep this edit functionality, or we could change it. For now, I want to walk through it because I think it is kind of cool how we have this set up. But whenever we open the page, again, this was a clone from tasks. So let's look at our ideas. And then let's look at our idea name. We automatically named our new ideas, if we recall, new idea right here. And so when we load this page, because we're going to use this page for editing existing ideas, as well as for creating a new one and putting the details in. And so when I load the page, I'm going to look at the value of field of the idea name. If it's new idea, I'm going to set the state to edit, which is going to automatically basically open up edit boxes. Now, I could certainly decide not to have a like two-tier system here, because typically anytime I open this page, I'm going to be editing the content. But just for the demo's purposes here, I want to show you this because this is a type of a mechanism that you might choose to use in your projects in various types of ways in the future. If I don't do this, I'm not going to do anything. So it's going to be the normal state of the page by default. So let's go back to the elements. I need to update. So when we do that set state actually for edit, what we're doing is hiding and showing appropriate content on the screen related to editing. So setting state is going to show the delete buttons, and it's going to show these fields for the values of description and idea instead of just text names, meaning I can edit it. So I need to make sure I bind the data appropriately for the idea into all of these spots. So the name and name, description, and that's all we have to bind there. Now, when we do the confirm delete action, so when we click delete, it opens up the confirm delete button, which then lets us do the full delete. I actually need to do two things. I'm going to want to delete the record for the idea itself, but just so there's no ghost relationships, I also want to delete all of the records associated with this idea in the relationship collection. And then also delete the idea current record value itself, which this just needs the current record value of this page to delete it. And then it's going to close this page. So I've updated the delete record. I've updated these bindings. These bindings are set up to automatically autosave on a blur event. So whenever I click out of the field, it's going to save the new record. So it'll save information immediately, and everything else should be good to go. Just so these are named appropriately. It's going to be idea for review, description for review, and we have everything we need to make this page work already. So let's just jump down now to category. We're going to do the same set of changes. Category isn't tied to a specific board, so I'm just going to delete everything about this top area right here. It's not going to serve any purpose. On page load, let's just look at what we called the add new category. When we create a new category, we just call it new category. So let's grab that. On page load, page binding. We don't need to run this anymore. We are going to check the current record field value category. Category name equals new category, set state edit. If not, don't do anything. We are going to update category. Get category description. Update our data binding. Description, or name, description. The autosave will automatically take care of itself on these fields. Our done and edit flows will automatically work. And then we do need to edit our confirm delete flow. Again, for the same thing, we need to delete records. And we're going to this above with a wait. So we want to delete these records first. We're going to delete all the relationship records for this specific category with the current record value from this category. So this will let us delete all the related records automatically. It's just to make sure there's no ghost records. And then we're going to delete this category record as well. And then we're going to close the page. Header, we're going to do hide highlight box. There we go.